Assalamu alaikum respected doctors, welcome to my YouTube channel MBBS and BDS lectures. Today is the ninth video of repeat revision course of removable partial denture prosthodontics, which is very important for NLE exam, MDS as well as for final year students. Now in today's video we will discuss about Gingivally approaching clasp. First we start from definition of Gingivally approaching clasp, then its design feature, then its type and its detail. First we start from definition, but first we look the word Gingivally approaching clasp. Gingivally means gingiva, approaching means from where they approach, and clasp is clasp. Gingivally approaching clasp basically approach from denture base or major connector, and its approach gingivally to occlusally mean from gingiva to occlusal surface of the teeth, mean from below to top. This is gingivally approaching clasp. How we define? Gingivally approaching clasp are also known as bar clasp, and actually it when they move from gingiva to occlusal surface mean it present below the bulge. Bulge mean height of contour, therefore this is also known as infra bulge clasp. Now how we define gingivally approaching clasp or bar clasp is defined as a clasp retainer because it is actually a extracoronal retainer. We already discussed about in previous videos. A clasp retainer whose body extends from a major connector or denture base, passing adjacent to the soft tissue and approaching the tooth from a gingivo-occlusal direction, means from gingiva to occlusal surface of teeth. Look at below 16.23 diagram gingivally approaching clasp. In blue there is a denture base. From denture base it is originate as a bar clasp minor connector. In the end of the minor connector there is a T shape or V shape clasp, which is gingivally approaching clasp because it approach from below to from low to high, from gingiva to occlusal surface, therefore known as gingivally approaching clasp, also known as bar clasp. Bar clasp also called vertical projection clasp because it project vertically from low to high. Next, also known as infra bulge clasp. Infra bulge means height of contour because it present below height of contour, therefore known as infra bulge clasp. And Roach clasp. Roach clasp means because it discovered by Roach. This is the definition of gingivally approaching clasp. Now come to the design features. It approaches the undercut or retentive area from the gingival direction in figure 16.23. Push type of retention is seen here, where pull type of retention is provided by circumferential clasp, means gingivally approaching clasp provide push type retention. But we already discussed about circumferential clasp. Circumferential clasp provide pull type of retention. Push type of retention is more effective than pull type of retention. It has a flexible minor connector called approach arm. Here in denture base in blue there is a approach arm which is actually a minor connector, which at the end of this minor connector there is a clasp which is known as gingivally approaching clasp. Now it is the only minor connector which is flexible, which is known as approach arm. It provides limited bracing action because of limited 3-point contact, because gingivally approaching clasp have limited 3-point contact attachment on teeth. The approach arm should cross the free gingival margin at 90 degree and should not impinge the soft tissue and should uniformly taper from origin to the clasp terminus. It should uniformly taper mean at the start the size is large and in the end the size will be small, like cone shape. The bar clasp should be placed as low on the tooth surface as possible for aesthetic reason. This type of clasp is used when the retentive undercut is adjacent to the edentulous area, mean near to the edentulous area, adjacent to the edentulous area. If there is a undercut present on the tooth, we use gingivally approaching clasp. Now come to the advantages. What are the advantages of gingivally approaching clasp? Number one, push type retention is more effective than pull type retention of the circumferential clasp because it provides push type retention. Number two, this type of clasp is easier for the patient to insert but difficult to remove. Its insertion is easy but removal is difficult. This type of clasp is easier for patient to insert. This is the advantage. Third, it is aesthetically superior to circumferential clasp as it approach from gingival area, because for aesthetic reason it is superior. Next, it is less prone to caries as it had limited 3-point contact on the tooth surface. It has less contact on the tooth surface as compared to circumferential, because circumferential clasp have cover the tooth by more than 180 degree. Now come to the disadvantages. It has a tendency of food lodgement, there will be food lodgement. Next, it provides less bracing action and stability due to increased flexibility of the retentive arm, which is minor connector. Third, additional stabilizing unit are needed. Here in gingivally approaching clasp, additional stabilizing unit like rest is needed. It can be used when there is a shallow vestibule. It cannot be used when there is a shallow vestibule. If there is a shallow vestibule, there is a low vestibular depth, it cannot be used. Because it bracing arm, because it a minor connector come in vestibule area. It cannot be used in cases of excessive buccal or lingual tilt of the abutment teeth. If abutment teeth is excessively tilt in buccal or lingual toward buccal or lingual surface, we cannot use gingivally approaching clasp. These are the disadvantages: food lodgement, flexibility of the retentive arm, less bracing and stability, less bracing action and stability. Next, additional stabilizing are needed. Next, we cannot use in shallow vestibule, and we cannot use gingivally approaching clasp if teeth have buccal or lingual tilt. Now come to the after advantages and disadvantages. Come to the indications of gingivally approaching clasp. Number one, in case of small undercut, 0.01 inch, which exists in the cervical third of the abutment tooth and is approached from gingival direction. This is the first indication. Second is in tooth supported partial denture or modification areas. Next, in distal extension cases where use of cast circumferential clasp is contraindicated due to aesthetic reason, then instead of circumferential clasp we use gingivally approaching clasp. Now come to the contraindication. In cases of deep cervical undercut or soft tissue undercut which require excessive blockout. Next, if the retentive undercut lie away from edentulous space in the distal abutment tooth, if the retentive undercut lie away from edentulous space, then gingivally approaching clasp is contraindicated. Now come to the types of gingivally approaching clasp or bar clasp. There are 4 types. Number 1 is T clasp, second is modified T clasp, third is Y clasp, and fourth is I clasp. First is a T clasp. It is mostly used in combination of cast circumferential reciprocal arm Mean it is mostly used in combination of cast circumferential reciprocal arm. Mean with cast circumferential reciprocal arm we use T clasp in combination. Next, it is usually used in distal extension cases where retentive undercut is present toward the edentulous ridge. Mean T clasp is used in distal extension cases where the retentive undercut is present toward the edentulous ridge. Mean distobuccal undercut. Mean undercut present on the distobuccal surface. Figure 16.4.24. This is a T clasp. Here the T clasp, which is type of bar clasp, have one retentive arm and other non-retentive arm, and the retentive arm are engaged in distobuccal undercut, which are near to edentulous space. Next, the non-retentive arm. Here the non-retentive arm of T clasp lie above the height of contour. Remember, the retentive arm are present below the height of contour in undercut, and the non-retentive arm present above the height of contour. Look at the non-retentive arm. And retentive arm lie into the retentive undercut, but both the arms should point toward the occlusal surface. Mean the end of the both retentive and non-retentive arm, the tip should be toward occlusal surface. It should not be used in cases where the undercut is located away from the edentulous area. If undercut is away from edentulous area, we cannot use T clasp. It can be used in tooth-supported partial denture cases with natural undercut. If there is a natural undercut, as natural undercut are used without creating new one, this concept is known as, this is referred as clasping per convenience. Mean natural undercut is produced are already present. We are not need to produce new undercut. This is known as clasping per convenience. Mean there is a convenience to place the clasp. This type of clasp should not be used where the soft tissue undercut are present. Also, T clasp should not be used if retentive undercut is located close to the occlusal surface. Due to aesthetic reason, this will encourage food lodgement and will unaesthetic in appearance. If the retentive undercut is located close to the occlusal surface, there will be two problems. Number one, food lodgement. Next, there will be unaesthetic appearance. Now come to the modified T clasp. It is same like T clasp, but the one thing, the non-retentive undercut is absent here. Only retentive arm will be present. Mean there will be no non-retentive arm, only the retentive arm will be present. Modified T clasp. It is similar to the T clasp except the removal of non-retentive arm. It is mostly used on canine and premolar parasitic region. Remember which type of bar clasp used on canine and premolar parasitic region? Modified T clasp. In which type of clasp the non-retentive arm is eliminated? In modified T clasp. It normally does not provide the 180-degree encirclement of the abutment tooth because there is only one arm. Next, come to the Y clasp. This type of clasp design is similar to the T clasp, same like T clasp. Y clasp. It is indicated when the survey line is high in mesial and distal line angle but low in middle of the facial surface. Mean Y clasp design is similar to T clasp. It is indicated when the survey line, we create the line with the help of surveyor appliance. This is known as survey line. If the survey line is high in the mesial and distal line angle but low in the middle of the facial surface, mean low in the middle of the facial surface. This is Y clasp. Next is the I clasp. It is mostly used on the distobuccal surface of upper canine because of aesthetic need. Mean upper canine on the distobuccal surface. Which type of clasp we use? For aesthetic reason, I clasp. As only the in eye clasp, as only the tip of retentive clasp contact 2 to 3 mm of the area, the horizontal stability and encirclement is diminished. Next come to the last type, which is eye bar. First is eye clasp, next is the eye bar. It is a modified eye type bar clasp which was first introduced by F.J. Crotchwell in 1963. It consists of eye bar retainer, but here with the eye clasp there is a retainer. It consists of eye bar retainer, next long guide plane and mesial rest. Here eye bar consists of three things. Number one, eye bar retainer, mean eye bar. Next, long guide plane, and third is a mesial rest. Rest should be of sufficient bulk to provide maximum vertical support. Mean the mesial rest should be have sufficient bulk to provide maximum vertical support. In distal extension cases, rest are placed on the mesial aspect of the abutment tooth because stiffing force are directed mesially and the processes move into firm contact with the support of interior teeth. Also, interior placement of rest help in verticalizing the forces on the supporting mucosa. The long guide plane mean proximal plate. Long guide plane mean proximal plate provide horizontal stability and reciprocation and help in distributing the functional process throughout the arch. Proximal plate help in distributing the forces throughout the arch and help in improving the retention of processes. Mean proximal plate help in providing the retention, improving the retention of processes and directed the force throughout the arch. The eye bar retainer should engage the undercut passively, should not apply force and help in resisting vertical displacement. However, this type of clasp design provides less horizontal stability and rotation than other retentive element. As the tooth contour is not altered, chances of food lodgement are minimized. As the tooth contour here in eye bar is not altered, chances of food lodgement are minimized. This is all about Gingivally approaching clasp and its type in detail. Now today our video is finished. If you like my video, press the like button and share this video with your friends. If you are new to my channel, subscribe my channel by pressing the red subscribe button and also press the bell icon in order to receive my each new video notification. For watching my videos, I am very thankful to you. Thank you very much.